personal, like a normal person.
Good to go? Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. Again, similar to last week, a little bit later in the week than normal today. Just got done with the Wednesday practice. I thought really intentful. I thought really focused. The challenge to our guys was to be incredibly detailed as we go into the week and clean up a ton from a week ago. So a week ago, obviously, really good to get our first conference win. Really good to play at home. What an incredible turnout by our students. That was awesome. And super grateful to them, super grateful for our fans for continuing to make a really cool environment, get to play at night at home. Really cool. So super grateful to them and just know that they're making a difference. What I said after the game, as you watch the film, stood out. Started off fast, defensively about as good as you can be. First 8 drives, incredible. Offensively, didn't start truly the first couple plays like we wanted, and then converted a third down, led to a score, and I thought really focused through the first quarter. And then you look at the second quarter into the third, not what we wanted. Turned it over 4 times offensively, and didn't look like what you wanted to look like in terms of efficiency. Ran the ball well, ran the ball really well at times, got the quarterback involved in the run game, but didn't look like what we wanted to through the second and third quarter. And you look up, and it's a 2-score ball game in the fourth quarter, and it's certainly not the position we wanted to be in, and ended up playing a lot of snaps. Offensively, had to go finish it and won the fourth quarter, but certainly not from an execution standpoint anything that would resemble what you want. And so I was disappointed. I think the part that you can take away from it, defensively, 4 turnovers, a score on special teams. That's 4 out of 5 weeks that we've scored on special teams. So there's some really positive things. I think ultimately, big picture, I think a testament to our players and a testament to where we are as a program right now. You come in the locker room, and every win that I've been a part of since we've been here, you go in the locker room, music, everybody's jumping around, everybody's excited. Wins are hard in college football. This one, walked in the locker room, and it was a sight of disappointment, a sight of letdown. And I thought for us, pivotal moment in our program where you win by 4 touchdowns, do some phenomenal things at home, and it's a group that knew that we didn't play to our potential for 4 quarters, 60 minutes from start to finish. And we've had moments throughout the season where we have, and that was not one of them. And so consistency is what we're searching for. Consistency is what we're looking for. And we went right back to work. And I think the guys understood where we were, understood what it's going to take, and flipped the page and went right to North Texas. So a lot to coach off of, both in execution, the mental toughness it takes to go finish an opponent earlier in the game, 2 penalties that I was absolutely livid about, that our guys got coached on, and understand that it's way below the standard because they changed the way the game is played. And like I said, cleaned it up, went right back to work on North Texas. North Texas, really good football team. I think Eric's got the entire program humming at a high clip, play really hard, made a change defensively. What I think the defensive staff has done is got a really good scheme, brought 5 players with them from Sam Houston. Those guys know the system, and it's a sharp and hard-playing, well-executing defense right now, as I've seen. Offensively, starts with the scheme. They make you cover the entire width of the field, change up tempo, and I think Eric is one of the absolutely fine offensive minds in college football, and has done a really, really good job. They're really all 3 years he's been there, but right now humming at a really good clip. Redshirt freshman quarterback that's playing at a high rate, really effective, hasn't thrown an interception all year. They run the ball really effectively, veteran group up front, and then they make you defend the entire field. I think they do a really, really good job. Quarterback is dual threat. He can move, he can run, he creates with his feet a bunch. And most of the year has not looked like a young guy that's a redshirt freshman. So credit to them. Really, really good, like I said, up front. Both running backs are playing at a high level. The wideouts are playing at a high level. And when you got a quarterback that's really, really confident, which he is, they've done a really, really good job. And then you look at the special teams, and they make you defend a bunch of different things. I think really similar to us, where they're going to find a difference on special teams. Really well coached, tough, gritty on team. So a lot of credit to Eric for putting him in this position. And it seems to be a really, really well-oiled machine right now. Huge challenge to us. Go on the road Friday night, national TV again. I think the part that I'm really, really confident in is, one, we've been battle tested pretty good on the road at this point. We've played in tough environments. We've executed in tough environments. We've had to learn from a bunch of mistakes in tough environments. But I think if our group can continue to be player-driven like it is, our group can continue to stick together, play for each other with a high level of confidence. I'm really, really excited to go into Friday night and see where we are, because I think it'll be an exciting next step for us. So I'll open it up to questions.
As this program accomplishes more and more big things, how do you go about the task of making sure the little things are done properly? Like, I know there are a lot of little things that didn't happen the other night. Is it leadership on the team? Is it you reminding them just how important these things continue to be?
Yeah, I think as hard as our team meeting was in terms of what happened there in the middle of the second quarter into the third quarter, I would tell you it was probably harder in our staff meeting. I think there is a level of, there's an expectation that you have within the program that there's a standard that you play to. Down to down, drive to drive, certainly game to game. I think if you were to say, hey, offensively, you're going to have 16 possessions in a game, and then you're going to flip it around and say, man, you're going to turn it over 4 times, and that you're playing a 2-score ball game in the fourth quarter, I'd be like, hold on, what happened? And so it's just as much on the coaches as it is on the players to, one, play down to down regardless of the situation, play with really, really good intent, play with high level effort all the time. I'll say this, Joey, as you watch the film, there is no effort issues in terms of guys not playing hard. What happened in the game was guys laxed for a second on where their eyes should be, whether they are going to go make a play now because it's getting out of hand. I'm going to go make a play that I normally wouldn't make or I shouldn't make. I'm going to make it about me for a second. And those are the things that we hammered home with our players, and then again with our coaches, that, hey, go right back to the detail, the fundamentals, the technique of how we play ball down to down, and don't worry about anything else. And I think they've done a really, really good job responding to that. I think when you're truly process-driven in your approach, and then your players become process-driven in how they communicate with each other and how what they expect of each other, I think the ebbs and flows of the season shouldn't be affected. You should just continue to march forward and continue to get better as you go.
Coach, do we have any updates on Cartavius not meeting?
Yeah, so Cartavius got out. Would have been Saturday night, and now we're just working through what the next step is for him. I tell you, Cartavius, man, like, talk about a guy that's resilient. I mean, he walked in here Monday and went to every staff room and went to every meeting just to say hi to everybody and say thank you for however many text calls he got. And you know, obviously super grateful for our sports med staff. I mean, what a bunch of pros that crew is, how they handled it, from Scott and Bree, really Noel, the whole crew, and then our doctors with Dr. Kors and everybody, and then TGH, how fortunate we are to have them right down the street, and the care that they gave him. And now the next step is getting healthy, and there's a lot that goes into that. We're working with a bunch of different opinions on what to do there, but obviously we're here supporting him. And I tell you what, man, like you go through that. I said it after the game, but your dad hat goes on, and man, he's really fortunate to be with us, walking around, and hopefully on a quick road to recovery. But it's going to take some time, and we'll see here procedure-wise what's got to get done.
And then, I don't know if you saw last week, UNT canceled their classes for the game this week. Does that mean anything to you, or have the players talked about it, anything at all?
No. I'm sure our guys probably would love to get some classes canceled around here. No, I guess maybe there'll be a great environment and what college football should be, hopefully a packed house and rocking and rolling, but I'm not sure. It's a night game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Without Cartavius, what about the backfield? Does that open up an opportunity for somebody down the line, or how do you think it's going to shake out?
You know, we've kind of look at who's carried the ball for us, trying to get out of Byram being our leading rusher. Some of that is created on his own. But we've gone, and it's kind of been like the hot hand as we've gone through the season. Alvon Isaacs had his moments. Sam Franklin's had his moments. Nikai Davenport got healthy and has had his moments. I'm excited that Chase Garnett is up. Trey Kinkle was banged up here for a couple weeks. He's up doing some things with us. I think it certainly allows you to play one more guy in there. We're going to continue to go. I'm really excited about certain things that each of them have done. They all have some really positives to them. There hasn't been one guy that's just taken it and run with it. And, you know, in our time here, we've played really three guys in every game. And hopefully that continues to go. I think, you know, in some ways, Nikai was banged up early. It gives Nikai Davenport some more opportunity. But it also, the last 2 weeks, Sam Franklin's really come on and has done some really good things. I think as we continue to go, I assume it'll kind of be by committee still, but hopefully Nikai and maybe one of the young guys will get another opportunity here as we go.
Coach, you talk about trying to get Byron to run it a little less or whatever, and you say he brings it on himself. If he reads a keep, that's hard to take away from him, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm not trying to get him to run it less. I'm trying to get somebody else to be a leading rusher here at some point. And those guys are all capable. I say that in jest. They've done what they've had to do to go win football games, and we've offensively have done what we've needed to. Byram's a phenomenal runner of the ball. Some of that is created on his own. Some of that is off of pull reads. Some of that is truly designed quarterback runs. And I say that completely joking. It'll pan itself out as it goes, but Byram is at his best when he's able to use his feet and create there as well. So.
You mentioned their quarterback. You know, he hadn't thrown an interception. I don't think he's been sacked very much. He's a young guy. How important is it to put some pressure on this kid and test him a little bit?
Yeah, you know, what a cool story Drew is. I certainly don't know him. I remember him playing in the bowl game a year ago, and they're like, man, first start, true freshman. Kid didn't start in high school. What a neat story. And you watch him play, and there's nothing like whoever his high school coach is, man, I don't know who he sat behind, but unless it was Peyton Manning, that's pretty impressive what that young man's developed into. Without knowing him, he is, for going into what would be his seventh start, he looks incredibly polished and in total control of that offense. Obviously, give Eric and that staff a lot of credit. He's done a good job of developing quarterbacks here over the years. He's been fortunate with some really good ones. And Drew certainly seems like the next one. Obviously, what we do defensively, you got to be highly alert for him getting the ball out quick, but for him pulling the ball and doing some things with his feet. You got to have a plan there to make sure you keep them contained. But I think as in any week, you go in, the number one objective defensively is to affect the quarterback and make him uncomfortable. And I'm pretty confident with T.O. and the staff in terms of a plan to make him uncomfortable. But through these 5 games, he's done a lot to tell you, man, this is a high level quarterback that's really, really confident and isn't playing like a young guy. So a lot of credit to him.
Coach, a short week, but not really a short week, because you go Friday to Friday. How much of a help is having that 7 days, like you normally would have Saturday to Saturday?
Yeah, normal week. Really, really cool to get in a rhythm. You know, it's interesting. We went into the game a week ago, and it was nice to get in a normal rhythm. Bye weeks are awesome. Bye weeks are great to get yourself back going in terms of physically and mentally, kind of a reset. But you're so programmed to be in a rhythm. Our guys, our coaches, to be honest with you, are so programmed to be in a rhythm. The only unique thing is today is Wednesday, and rather than a Tuesday, that part, but to have a Friday to a Friday, and Saturday was a Sunday, Sunday was a Monday, it's kind of normal in that regard. But I think it's awesome, and I'm so process-oriented, and our staff and our players have become so process-oriented that it's nice to have just a normal rhythm to a week. North Texas had an extra week coming off of a bye week, so there's an element there where they have an extra week to prepare for you where you don't, that you got to overcome, and because at the end of the night, nobody's going to care who had extra time.
Are you, I don't know if the word is happy, but you have a number by your name again now, national ranking, that you left back in the poll. Does that mean anything to you, that enough people would think enough of you to put you back in it, or those things not even cross your mind?
Yeah, so I don't have a number by my name, and nobody put me in, but our team has played good enough football to be in that conversation. I would tell you this, I've said it from the beginning, and I'm telling you now, the only number that matters at the end in January. And for us, these are all things that as we continue to build, should be part of the standard, should be part of the expectation. I think it's a credit to our players for just continuing to plug week by week. I think we learned a really, really good lesson 3 weeks ago where it was incredibly hyped up. We were in the spotlight, and then we went down to Miami, and it didn't look like what you'd want it to look like. And so if we didn't learn anything, shame on us, and we've done a terrible job as coaches leading it. If we learned something, it would tell you that it doesn't matter. And it's certainly a nice recognition publicly. I think it's a sign of the fact that we're continuing to build and we're continuing to take steps towards where we want to go. But the only number that matters is at the very end. And I think our guys now are mature enough and understand that you just have to worry about today and what the next thing is. And I told our guys on Sunday, and I told them yesterday, and I told them today again, the only thing you got to worry about is us right now, today, this moment, and that this entire thing is straight business leading up to that game, and then you get to go play free and have fun. At the end of the day, the ranking stuff, one, you don't control. Two, it has nothing to do with us winning or losing a game. And so just like everything else, if it has nothing to do with helping you win or lose, then it shouldn't matter. Does it help externally? Does it help in recruiting? Absolutely. But I think anybody that's been around our program understands that we're taking steps in a positive direction, and it's certainly a lot of credit to these players, our leadership, as we continue to build. This, I said it when I took the job, and I'm saying it again now, this is a top 20, 15, 10 program in the entire country. It's going to take a second to build it, and we're trying to get there as fast as we can. And so we're going to continue to build, but I think there's no ceiling here. And just look out back and see what we're building, see the support that we've gotten from our administration, see the support that we've gotten from our community. This is a top, whatever you want it to be, job. And whatever it's looked at, when I took it 3 years ago, it certainly wasn't looked at that way. My job is to continuously get us better and take it to where places it hasn't been before. And we're going to continue to strive. And I don't know how long it'll take, but it's not going to be for a lack of effort.
Coach, to kind of like piggyback off of that, we're also still kind of, or this team is still in the talk of a possible playoff position. Does that mean anything to you at all too, or?
When you say we, Vanessa, are you part of the squad? Are you all in now?
Yeah, I'm all in on the
Okay,
team, coach,
awesome,
yeah.
we'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally out of the realm of any conversation we're having. When I tell you it's Wednesday of North Texas week, that's the only thing that matters. Again, just like the ranking conversation, it's all good noise. It's awesome noise to have around your program. And publicly, recruiting, which ultimately is the biggest thing that matters, because as good a coaches as we are week to week, or bad as we are week to week, if you have better players, you can be better. And so the recruiting piece certainly matters. I think that the excitement around the program certainly matters. But in terms of how we go about our daily business, if we are as mature as I hope that we are, if we are as process-based as I hope that we are, then the only thing, when I tell you the only thing that matters is this afternoon, getting our bodies right, eating. We're in the middle of a lift right now, coming back tonight for meetings, and all the other stuff will come as you truly buy into being process-driven.
This is a little bit off the beaten path, but USF is getting a new president. Have you had a chance to meet this person or heard anything about him, specifically his commitment to athletics?
Yeah, I think, so I have not met him since the announcement. Will and Mike Griffin and our leadership do an awesome job keeping me in the loop. I think when you know what our board has done since I've gotten here, from what they've done to what President Law has done to now MK to Jay Stroman to Rob now, like if the president isn't on board with the athletics piece, I don't know that he would be the president. Obviously, it's a huge job, it's a huge undertaking, but for Will and Mike and everybody down the line, there's a huge commitment here to getting this entire athletic department to take huge steps, not baby steps, not one step at a time here, but to take huge steps as we continue to build. I think they understand that athletics, certainly football, is the front doorstep of any university, and they're going to continue to invest into making this program the very best that it can be. I think the president hire is certainly part of that. I've not had a chance to interact with him, but I look forward to meeting him as we go.
Coach, you talked earlier in the season that if anything crazy happens anywhere in football, you use it as a teaching tool, showing your players what to do. The last 2 weeks in the NFL, guys have dropped the ball before going over the
3 times on Sunday.
Yeah. Can we assume that's being hammered out in your room to run that thing into the end zone?
Every week, hammered down. Yes, sir. It's really quite fascinating. We had some incredible teaching moments. We taught off of this Sunday, off of the 4-minute situation in the LSU Ole Miss game. Was an incredible teaching moment. We had 2 teaching moments in our games, 2 penalties that changed the way that the game was played, 2 incredibly selfish penalties that changed the way the game is played. And so learning moments. I feel like the last 2 years I keep showing clips of guys not crossing the end zone. It's absolutely crazy. And I'm sure coaches are losing their minds, but if you don't coach it, shame on you. But yeah, 3 this last weekend that you can coach off. I'm glad I'm coaching off of somebody else's film, because if I was coaching off of mine, I'd have more gray hair than I do already.
Coach, I want to steal one more. When you saw the injury, both teams on the field, that's college football, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been there before, which is really unfortunate. Like I said, like my dad hat comes on in terms of, man, I can imagine C5's mom sitting there and wondering what the heck is going on. Like that's where my heart goes. But Coach Albin coming over, checking on C5, he didn't coach him, but checking on him and called me on late that night to check on him. Tim Albin's a class act and a phenomenal human being, and he'll get that program where it's got to go. But there's half that team were guys that he sat in a locker room with, that he worked with, that he bled with and sweat with and ate with and tried to get it going program-wise with that team. So when both those teams are there and both those teams are on the knee, and I said it after the game, but you felt the power of prayer in that moment. You felt like I know I did. Felt God's hands all over him, and it was. I do think it's a powerful moment. I think when you take everything and put it aside, a lot of people care about Cartavius, and a lot of people cared in that moment, and they certainly still do. But the power of prayer is strong, and man, looked out for him in that moment.
When you go on the road, obviously, a lot of times it's about fighting off adversity, weathering storms, and you alluded to this in the beginning that you've been through some tough environments and had success. You've got some tough road games the rest of the way. You got to win those to get where you want to go. So you feel confident that you've got some things that have experienced these guys, gone through that can pull you through these environments.
Man, you sure hope so. There's nothing like experience. There's nothing like being in a moment, going through moments, learning and pushing forward. Especially when you're talking about young guys, you gain confidence from experience. You gain confidence, certainly through preparation, but it's really hard to simulate the swamp. It's really hard to simulate being in Tuscaloosa. It's those moments, you got to be in them. It's like the man in the arena. Like you got to be in it. You got to overcome it to gain real, genuine confidence. To say that that's what this is going to be, I don't know. I've never been. I'm sure it'll be a great environment, especially because no classes. Shoot, if I didn't have class, I don't know what I'd be doing all day. I'm sure I could find something to do. You know what I mean? But no, it'll be awesome. It'll be, and I'm so happy to be playing in a game like, I should say excited to be playing in a game like this. It's a huge game because, one, Eric Morris and that team, they've earned the right to make it a big game. Our guys have earned the right to make it a big game. It's Friday night, national TV, hopefully an awesome environment. I think our guys will be plenty confident, not just because of the way they prepare, but because they've been in those moments and they'll be ready to roll. So I don't know. No class. That's awesome. Good for them. As an academian myself, I don't know if I'd be all right with that.
Might endanger their AAU status.
That's right. No doubt. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Go Bulls.
Not even class.
Someone had to ask it, I think.
Linebacker Mac Harris.
How y'all doing?
Team with 4 sacks and 4.5 tackles for loss. Big questions for Mac.
Mac, you told me after the game before, were you satisfied? And you said, no, they scored. How disappointed were you that you kind of exhaled and let them get back in the game a little bit?
Disappointed in us as far as, continuing to execute while we were up. I think, if I could say, we've got to grow and do better, I would say from last game, I would say that would be it. Just continuing to play our standard of football, no matter the circumstance or the situation or the team. So I would say I was a little bit disappointed, but that just means we've got something to work on, which is a great thing.
What do you see when you look at North Texas on tape?
I see a great team. They play really hard. They want to continue to win. Great quarterback. He's young, but he's great. Great O-line, veteran O-line. I see running backs who run hard. I see receivers who run great routes. And they're going to come to play. And we've got to make sure we prepare the right way and do the same thing.
Mac, last year you had to spend a lot of time without Batman next to Robin. How nice is it to see number 7 there after 5 still games? And I'm not saying you're Robin or he's Batman.
I was gonna say we got to find something else. But I get what you're saying. It's great to have my guy beside me. I mean, like, the relationship that we have off the field obviously is there, and then on the field it's good to be directly next to somebody who loves the game just as much as you, and who's also trying to figure out their opponent just as much as you. So, we're just the little conversations we have every now and then where we're just finding nuances to kind of help each other out on plays that we could be, a step quicker on, stuff like that. Like, it's amazing to have him there. Not to say that, that wasn't the case last year, but, this year just, investing more, sacrificing more into the game, and he's doing the same exact thing, and it's just lovely to have that energy right next to you.
Mac, from a player point of view, you guys are back in the rankings, and you're also kind of in a small talk of a college playoff prediction. How does that feel to you?
It don't feel like anything. Job not done, job not close to being done. Like, it hasn't been this way around here in a long time, so it would be very easy to, get sucked up into all the media and the rankings and the, stuff like that. But we've ultimately got to stay humble, and we've got to stay connected to what essentially got us to this point. Like, we've got to go out and practice hard every day. We've got to make sure that our lockers are clean every day. We've got to make sure, we're staying connected as a team, make sure the accountability is great each and every day. Like, that's what I'm thinking about. Like, the ranking is great, like, from the outside looking in, but to stay there, we've got to continue to stay humble and do what we've been doing.
How important is it to get a takeover during the game for the defense, and how does it kind of feel when you guys are on the sideline?
It's always important to get your offense back to the ball, like always. Like, if regardless of the field position, like, if you can get your offense just another possession, you know what I'm saying, anything can happen. Especially in an exciting game like college football. Like, you get your offense the ball back. It could, whether it equals 3, 7, or just a change of field, like, it could always be something great, because you turn the ball over and get your offense, and let's say we don't score, we don't get any points, but their offense is pinned inside the 10. Like, that's really good for us to come back on the field and be in that situation. So it's always good to have turnovers, and like I said, we just got to keep going out and practice and preparing the right way so we can continue to get more of them.
And on the flip side of that, how do you kind of feel when the offense turns over the ball?
Go get the ball back.
Mac, last year, after going through Alabama and Miami, you were beat up as a team. This year, after going through Boise, Florida, and Miami, you're banged up, but you're a lot healthier. How important was that you're in the weight room to get ready for these games?
He's gonna literally kill me for talking about him, but because he never wants the credit or anything. But Gio and his staff, like, they've done a great job progressively each and every single year of putting us in situations where we can sustain for those big heavy games where we're playing bigger teams and things like that. Like, they've done a great job of building calluses for our bodies to be able to do that. Obviously the onus is on us to go out there and push ourselves in these workouts over the summer, and then continue to push ourselves, in practice during the season. Although, the body might not feel the best, but, like, we've done a great job of having a mentality that, like, the only time you're going to be 100% is the day before the first game. After that, I mean, like, you've got to be a dog and continue to, go out and practice and produce, and then go out in the game and produce. Everybody's hurting.
Mac, does anything change when it comes to preparing to play in a tough road environment than playing at home?
No, not at all. I mean, like, the standard is the standard. Your process is your process. The only difference is you got to jump on a plane. That's it.
Mike, you're such a low-key, shy guy. Any thoughts of when playing is done to come over on this side and go to the media area?
I don't know. I'm just hoping I get to continue to play this game more after this year. That's where my mind is. But, if that's what God calls me to do eventually, that's exactly what I'll be doing.
But you were married to that microphone. I mean, this is you.
I mean, I actually really look up to him a lot in a lot of different ways, especially, like, obviously his football career, and then the way he's able to, get behind the mic and do what he does. Like, he's amazing in several different ways and aspects of his life, even his business ventures. Like, I could talk about that guy all day. I really look up to him, but I don't know. I just want to keep playing football, and like I said, if God says, "Hey, man, like, get behind the mic," yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Mac, is there anything that stands out about UNC's offense to you going into this game?
One more time, I'm sorry.
Is there anything that stands out to you about UNC's offense going into this game?
Yeah, like I said, they've got some exciting receivers. And their quarterback is doing a really good job, especially as a young guy. He's thrown like 11 touchdowns, no picks. Like, he's doing really good of even, being under pressure and still getting things delivered. The running back group is also really good. Like, they run really hard, and, they've got guys who want to pick up, yardage after contact, and they're doing actually like second in the conference right now, yards per carry. So like they've got a lot of weapons they can use, and I'm sure they're going to use them, and we've just got to go continue to prepare and be ready for that.
Good luck, Friday.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Mac. Appreciate it.
That'd be great.
Byron is on his way. Momentarily. Quarterback Byron Brown, coming off a career high 162 yards, second straight 4 touchdown pass game.
Hello.
Morning.
Morning.
162 yards. How many of those were called runs, and how many were just you take off and go?
Ooh, I don't know. But whatever the play was, just follow my rules, whatever it was, and made a play.
Byron, after watching the film, grade your performance on 1 to 10 and why?
I'd probably say 7. Too many turnovers on my part. Clean those up, but came out with a victory, and at the end of the day, that's what we're looking for.
What do you see out of North Texas defense?
They're very sound. They play aggressive. They rally to the ball. So just do our job, and we'll be just fine right where we need to be.
I got to go back to the Alabama game last year. It looked like Alabama's game plan on defense was to make you read a keep and then arrive in ill humor and really lay the wood to you. Are you afraid teams are going to try to do that this year again, and that's why you felt you had to bulk up in the offseason?
I mean, whatever the team wants to do, they got to pick their poison. We got great backs, great O-line that's going to make holes, great wideouts, and then I can obviously extend the game with my legs. So they'll just have to choose their poison, and we'll be in a good spot at the end of the day.
Byron, I'm asking everyone, you're back in the national rankings, you're in a talk for a possible college playoff prediction. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's cool to get that recognition, but we're just focused on this next game against North Texas and what we got going on inside this facility. That's really it. Not focused on the outside noise at all.
Does anything stand out really big to you for UNT this week?
I mean, just playing on a Friday in front of a lot of people. We're very excited.
After what happened to Cartavius, how hard was it to get back into the flow of the game, knowing that, hey, my guy's hurt?
It definitely is on your mind a little bit, but he himself would tell us, y'all boys go play the next play, and so that's what we did, and we scored the next play. So glad he's doing well. I seen him around the facility yesterday, and he's doing really well.
You talked about the turnovers that you had last week. Can you kind of tell me what you did to clean it up coming into this week's matchup, whose their defense has taken away the ball 11 times this year?
Just emphasize ball security. That's really it.
Friday night's a battle for first place. How important is that?
Didn't even know it was a battle for first place. That's how locked in we are to what we got going on here. So I guess that's cool, but we're just focused on us.
Anything else for Byron?
Thank you. Go Bulls.
Thank you all. You guys probably get the email, no veil tomorrow.